Alright, so like I said, we're starting lesson 3.5. We're going to try and do this just a little bit different today. I have quite a bit of moving. I'm a little worried about it because we're already starting to show we're a little off task. But as long as we show that you guys can stay focused, we'll get through this pretty quick. I have a couple activities and rewards that we'll do today. So, starting off, we're going to do our notes right away. Okay? After I do our notes, it should not take us long because today's lesson about rates and unit rates is all about, can I find unit rates? Can I use unit rates to solve problems and use unit rates to compare? To be honest, this lesson is actually really, really practical. It was not very hard to find out real life examples. I do it all the time. I use it every single time I go shopping. And I'm trying to get my one computer synced because I made something new last night. When I took the boys to the store, if you're being a smart shopper, today's lesson is all for you. It really matches up with our ratio tables and understand rates. Now we're going to break them down to just one rate. So, what we're going to do on your notes, like always, you should put your name. Today's date is the 22nd. Make sure, okay, you guys turned in your notes for this last quiz, and that was your effort. Make sure you're filling all this out and you keep track of it so you can turn it, because we only have 2 lessons, so not much for you to have to do. Lesson 3.5, this is first group purple. Alright, so the 3 people that actually showed work this morning, find the missing values in the ratio table. Damien, how did you find this first blank, bud?
I did 2 times 9 because 3 times 3 because 5 times 3 equals 15.
Good. So if I looked at the corresponding rate, 15, well, I went from 5 to 15 times 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. Who's my other one? Sean. I know, Braden. But Sean, how'd you get the blank for the shorts?
I did 5 times 5.
Okay, why'd you do 5 times 5?
Because 3 times 5 is 15.
Good. I didn't know this blank. Corresponding term. 3 times 5 gave me that. So 5 times 5 is 25. Braden, you were my 3rd person. What could be another one we could have?
18 on the top one and 3 on the bottom.
And what?
30 on the bottom.
How did you get it?
5 times 6 and 3 times 6.
So this time we kept the same term. We used the same term each time. That's okay. Did we have to? Absolutely not. But it's okay if we do. Alright. Let me turn to this. Let me check my computer. Please say you've synced. I've restarted you twice. I have a good warm-up for us. Ooh, sync problem. Yay. Try resyncing. Alright, we'll continue our notes until so. Alright, so here's the key idea today. It says a rate is a ratio of 2 quantities using different units. You solved various ratio problems in the previous sections that involved rates. You will now use these rates to solve rate problems. Mainly, this is kind of the same idea. When you guys did your ratio table, you essentially did what we're going to do today. But the only thing was, you had it for multiple things. Where we're going to first find out what a single unit costs. Which means we have to get one of these to be 1. Okay? It says unit rate words. A unit rate compares the quantity to 1 unit of another unit. Equivalent rates have the same unit rate. So, their example, you paid $27 for 3 pizzas. The rate was 27 to 3. 27 to 3. Now, if I want to find the unit rate, some of you are probably already seeing this, we're going to use this formula right here. where I take the first rate and I just divide it by the second one. Now, don't you remember this is the value of our ratio? You remember doing that? It was even on your homework on 3-4, or no, your study guide, I believe. So our rate was 27.3. The value was 27/3. We are now going to simplify so this denominator becomes 1. I want to know what 1 equals. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. This tells me that when we look at our second unit, this 3 represented pizzas, right? So every pizza equals $9. You could look at it like this. We simplified the ratio down to blank to 1. So it's $9 for 1 pizza. Now, I'm going to give you a hint. We use this a lot. We use rates in our lives all the time. You guys might not know it. So I'm going to have you brainstorm here in just a second. I'm going to give you an example. On my way to school today, coming through off Clam, coming through that neighborhood, there's a stop sign that says 25. What's that 25 mean? 25 kids are playing in the street? That I'm going to swerve at? I'm going to do that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to call you office. You're fired. You're trying to get a kid. I'll be like, I tried. What does 25 stand for? 25 points if I hit someone? So? 25. And now I heard Braden say MPH. Miles per hour. Does anyone know what that really means? I mean, we use it all the time. Oh, I remember growing up, oh, I'm going 90 miles per hour. I was going like 2 on my Hot Wheels. But what does that mean? What does miles per hour mean? Olivia?
Isn't that like just how many miles you're going to be able to go in like an hour, basically?
Yeah. So 25.
If you stay at 25 miles every single if you stay that same speed.
If I stay in that constant speed, per hour. Per is showing us our ratio. An hour is only 1 unit that they're going to give us. So if I drove 25 miles per hour, I would drive 25 miles in 1 hour. Now, I do this all the time when I'm driving home to like Nebraska, or I had to drive to Colorado, which was like an 8 to 9 hour drive. And in my head, like I get really bored after a while, so I start doing that just because I'm like, okay, I'm driving limit in different areas, it varies. But I'm like, if I average 70 miles an hour driving home, because of the interstate and everything, I'm like, all right, if it takes me 3.5 hours to drive 70 miles an hour, can I figure out how many miles I drive? If I average 70 miles an hour and I drove for 3.5 hours, can I figure out how many miles I went? Huh? Why? Pay attention, just doing math in my head. Just like when I sing in the car. So in 3.5 hours, and I was driving 70 miles per hour. Oops, I don't want to do the ratio like that. That slows me down. But I was driving 70 miles an hour. But then I went for 3.5 hours. How would I find out how many miles I went? Right?
Just 70 times 3 and then divide 70 by 2 and add on to that times 3.
Good. That's a good problem solving. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm timing by 3.5. Now, if I would have made this a ratio table, we would have did the same thing. Hey, I went 70 miles in 1 hour. I want to know in 3 hours. Oops, 3.5 hours. Oh, I went from 1 to 3.5 times 3.5. 70 times 3.5. Here's what I want you to brainstorm. Can anyone else think of when we use rates in real life? So I said miles per hour. And don't go, oh, we can do the metric system, kilometers per hour. my buddy and I, his car, if you push the button, it switched from miles per hour to kilometers. It was a digital readout. And we bumped it once, and we had no idea. And the difference, it was like saying we were going like 45, and we were like barely moving. I'm like, what in the world? Like, your car's broken? We were freaking out because we were like barely 16. And we're driving, there's a cop in our town, and we're like, we get pulled over for speeding. It says we're going 40, but we're barely moving. Until we finally realized we were in the wrong measurement. Funny. We're idiots. So, think real quick. Take about 60 seconds. Turn with your neighbor. Let's see how many your group could come up with. If you want to write it down on your paper, awesome. Let's see what you guys can come up with. Go. When do I use it? Not can I make it. Alright, what are some ideas we came up with? Back together. What did we come up with? Okay, how do we use odds in a basketball game? You're right, we do use some rates in basketball games at times.
Like if it was only like 27-5.
Okay, we could make it a rate, but remember, a rate is something constant. So if the score is 27-5, does that mean the other team, for every 27 points they're going to score, the other team can only score 5?
No.
It's not something that's going to say proportion.
I don't think I've ever watched a basketball game where they did this, but like the speed of the people running.
Actually, you're right. They break this down. They were talking about LeBron James and about how they show how fast he's running. They compare. They actually do this. They have statistics for everything. And so they might show what makes a player better. And they said because of this speed compared to this speed, he's running at a rate of boom, boom, boom. It's actually something they use. Gentlemen. Good, so that goes back to our miles per hour. They want to check speed.
I don't know if this is kind of like what you're doing, but like in softball practice, they have like the camera that goes over, and they watch how much people run, and then whenever they get like switched, they say that this dude ran 3 miles or like in
Okay. How about?
because they can compare other.
Okay.
places.
They look at speed. Oh, I got people talking. I know you're not listening. Then. How about this? I got 2, and that reminded me of something. This one is something that you guys should probably see. But how about what's going on right now in the NFL? They're trying to find out
Who has the most?
who should get the MVP.
Oh, us.
Now, one reason people like rates and ratios is for gambling. Okay. My dad likes to gamble. I know some people that's a professional gambler, and they're really, really good at math because when they play poker and things, they always look at odds. It's not just luck that casinos are usually the biggest that make the most money. Yeah, they know their games you can win at and you'll pay up, but casinos are really good with math where they know the odds of you winning something. And that's a ratio. And they found out that, hey, we're going to have to pay out this much for all this money. And usually they make a ton first and then give out a lot to one person. Well, that ratio works out in their favor. Right now, for gambling, Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson, his odds are 3-2. Where Derek Carr's 60-1. He has a 60-1 chance. So for every one chance he has, there's 60 other opportunities for other people to win. Lamar Jackson, for every 3 for another person, he has 2. Well, he has a pretty good chance, right? So this is where we could use odds there. The other way we will use ratios is we can use them on cameras. We use them on TVs. You ever notice that if I was to take a picture or if I looked at TV screen, they ask you your formatting, and it's like a 16:9. They're giving you the ratio. They're not telling you your TV's 16 inches by 9 inches, but that's the aspect ratio. if we did not use a ratio and you just stretched your TV lengthwise, it would distort the picture. That's why when they make TVs, it's like they grab them by the corners and they stretch them this way. The amount that it goes bigger left and right is the same proportion as up and down. It keeps your picture in focus. I'll show you an example. But I'll give you an example when we go start something. You'll see. All right, let's do this on our notes. I want you to go to example 1. We don't have a lot of notes to do, which is awesome because we'll get some activities in. It says, finding unit rates. You make fruit juice by adding 4 pints of water for every 2 cups of concentrate. Okay, so if you make a ratio table, I made it so it is 4 to 2. I want to find the unit rate. The ratio of pints of water to cup is 4 to 2. And if I just continued my ratio table, I could have easily stated, I want to go to 1. So 2 to 1, I divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. The unit rate is 2 pints of water per cup of concentrate. Okay? The easier way to do this is just to say, if I had 4 to 2, I'm going to write it as the value of my ratio, 4 over 2. I will simplify this. 4 divided by 2. And we get 2. The ratio is now 2 to 1. Mainly, every 2 pints of water, I put in 1 cup. I'm sorry, 2 pints of water, I put 1 cup of concentrate. Okay? We're trying to get it down to 1 unit every time. Now, instead of our try it, we're just going to go to this example 2. We're not going to do try it right now because we got a bunch of examples. How about 4 activities for you? Okay, a piece of space junk travels 5 miles every 6 seconds. So, first thing I'm going to do is, there's my first ratio, 5 to 6. How far does it travel in 30 seconds? Well, there's actually a couple ways we could do this. What? Space junk? It just means debris, stuff that astronauts have left out there. So, if I want to find out how it goes in 30 seconds, we could use what we did the other day and just go, hey, from 6 to 30, I'm going to times by 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, technically our problem solved. Don't do that right now because we got to go back to unit rate. If it wouldn't have worked easy, the first thing we do is we usually find, okay, how much is it traveling per 1? So I want to find out the unit rate. We would do 6, and I have to get it to 1. So I divide it by 6. 5 divided by 6, you're either going to want to make it a fraction or a decimal. And this one, they left it as a fraction. To be honest, I probably should have left it that way. So 5/6. And then, the nice thing is, when I get to that unit 1, let's write this on your notes. I have 5/6 for every second. Now, the reason this is nice is, I know on our example they asked for 30 seconds, and we could do 6 times 5. But what if we said we want to know 27 seconds? Can we do 6 times something to give me 27? No, and then there'd be a lot of, okay, I'm going to do half of this, I'm going to add this. Right now, if we're down to the unit 1, I can just say, hey, if I want to go to 27 seconds, I would just do my 5/6 times 27. 27 you write as a fraction, and I would multiply across. So that's 135 over 6. That would be my answer. In 27 seconds, it would go 135/6 of a mile. If I wanted to make this improper fraction since we're doing miles. Or I want to write it as a mixed number because it is an improper fraction. I could say, okay, that's 222, and I'm skipping a little bit of the math work for you, don't worry. Just trust me on this. I just simplified. 135 divided by 6 would give me 22 and a half. I would have found out that in 27 seconds, that piece of space junk would have went 22.5 miles. Okay, reason we use unit rate is to apply it. Now, we're going to do an activity real quick. You're going to work with your table group. So let's go to the try it, and I want you to just cross off the question. We don't care what it says. I'm just going to use this blank. I changed what I was going to do. I'm going to have you work with your table group. When would I ever need to know the unit rate and apply it to something bigger? I need to do it when I go shopping. Alright, the Brothers of Destruction went to the store with me the other night, and we had to buy cereal. Now, Captain Crunch is where it's at, okay? To be specific, peanut butter Captain Crunch. But you're going to see I have to look at the generic brand. They don't make the Captain Crunch. They made the Colossal Crunch, which, I'll be honest with you, is the one I always buy. But each boy wanted Captain Crunch. Now, it's easy to say, well, why don't you just buy the biggest box? Well, I could, and maybe it cost more at the beginning. But, I mean, I teach. I'm not made of very much money. So, I actually have to get the most bang for my buck. Meaning, I can't just spend a ton of money. We have to be on a budget. So I have to make sure if I'm buying stuff that it's actually a good buy. Even if I spend more, if I spend more and it lasts longer, that's okay. So, your job right now,
Hi, Mr. Simpson.
what's up?
We just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work you do here as a teacher.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to eat that cookie in about 5 seconds. So, here's the little rascals. Bennett grabbed the box of Captain Crunch, and you can't really read it on here as well, so that's why I typed it out. His box was the normal size cereal box, 12.5 ounces. A lot of boxes are around 12.5, 13, 14. It costs $2.79. Eli got the one that was like the family one. It's that taller box. It has 17.1 ounces in it, but it costs $3.39. Peanut went and got, I know it's generic brand, but we're going to use it for our argument. He went and got Berry Colossal Crunch, and it was 34.5 ounces for $4.99. Now, right away our initial thought is, oh, Bennett's is the best buy. It's cheaper. But having less ounces means I could get less bowls of cereal out of it. So here's what I want you to do with your table group. I want you to find out, I'm going to number this up here. Or I'm going to letter, I'll say B. What would be easier to see? E. We'll put B here. And J. I need you to find out, you can use a calculator, and we will round to the nearest tenth. Or not tenth, nearest hundredth, the nearest cent. So, here's money. I want you to round to the nearest cent. How much did each cereal cost per ounce? Work with your table group. I'll grab you your baskets. You have calculators in it. Who can find out which kid should I love more?
You should love Jay.
You love Jay because you have.
He's cute. He's the
So, I will have a reward for whoever's group gets the answer. Alright, real quick, I want you guys to come back together. This is one thing I actually love when I'm here. You guys are using numbers, sense, and math reasoning to try and find your answer, which I love. You should always do at the beginning, because it kind of helps you see, did I get my answer right? It's kind of like estimating. If I listen to a few of their arguments, All right, Landon, I want you to share exactly what you just shared with me. What was your math reasoning?
Because if you buy the
Which one did you say, though?
So I said J
Okay.
because if you have E, since that's only about half of the Colossal Crunch, you'd have to buy a second box. And
You're talking about the ounces, right?
yes,
17.1 is about half of 34.5. It is. It's just a little less, but okay.
so then you have to buy a second box to equal the same amount as the berry Colossal Crunch. And then if you do the price of E plus itself, that would be about $6. And then the Colossal Crunch is only $5, so you're actually saving more for the Colossal Crunch.
All right. So here's what he did. He's using actual estimation. He's saying 34.5 is about $5. 17, say it's about $3. We round it down. When usually when we're comparing things, cents do make a big difference, but we ran down 39 cents. 17's half, so I'd have to buy 2 boxes to get this much cereal. So $3 and $3 is $6. Well, that's more than the $5. Okay, that's good reasoning. I actually like those thinking processes. But here's the only thing I need from you today. Even though I totally agree with your rationale, we need to be very specific. I need to know right now how much each one of these cereals costs per ounce. I want to know how much per 1 ounce. How much per 1 ounce. Now, the reasoning is, on this example, you did an amazing job. Yeah, it was kind of easier to compare. Sometimes they don't go even into like that. So, does anyone remember how are we going to use our calculator to do so? How do I find out how much Bennett costs? Anyone have the understanding of it? I'm going to discard it. Okay, look at our notes right here. Go back up to the very key idea. This is the most important part on your notes probably right now. Go into your notes, this part. So, our rate, A to B, B wants to be the unit that we want to make 1. So if I go in here, and I'll be with this first one, Bennett, I'm going to have $2.79 per 12.5. Alright, when I go to solve this, you take your first unit. I don't know how you did. I'm going to take my first unit, keep it. Where's my calculator? I'm going to take my first unit, which is 2.79, and you're going to divide it by your second ratio term. So divide by 12.5. If we round this, how much did 1 ounce cost? 22 cents. All right. So we would say, let's try to see if you can see this one better.
Nope.
Okay, I don't know why my light is not working. There. It switched from orange to red. Okay. So 22 cents for 1 ounce. Right now, Bennett's box, for every ounce of that cereal, they charge me 22 cents. If we did Eli's, first we have to look at his ratio. I want money first. $3.39 for 17.1. We go to our calculator. This is how easy this work is today. I do my first unit, 3.39, divided by 17.1. That's my second unit. How much does his cost?
20 cents per ounce. 20 cents.
20 cents. Why 20 cents?
Because if you look at the 19, there's an 8 right next to it. and
Good.
it's
If we're rounding the nearest cent, the 8 makes us round up. So his is 20 cents per 1 ounce. We go to Peanut. He's $4.99 for 34.5. Now, before I even get this answer, Landon, do you want to take a guess how much his is going to be? Braden?
It's about 29 cents.
Think his is going to be 29 cents? Jackson? Oh, you looked it on a calculator. Cheater. I like it. He's like, I think it's going to be about, look there at the calculator. Okay, so we take our first unit, $4.99. We divide it by 34.5 ounces. 14 cents. So, for every ounce, for Bennett's smaller box, it costs 22 cents. Eli's bigger box, it's 20 cents per ounce. And for Peanut's bag of Colossal Crunch Berry that weighs about as much as he does, it costs 14 cents.
Yeah, but that's off brand.
Which is the best price?
That's what I said.
You're right, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, which one's the best buy? Juice. It's the cheapest. Now, you're totally right. There's a lot of other things that factor into this. One, this is malto meal. Different brand. I still love Colossal Crunch. Some of the other ones I don't like, but we buy this one all the time when we put it in a plastic container. So, better. But if I only compared the Captain Crunches in, exact same looking box, exact same cereal, it's just this box was smaller, this box was bigger. Less cereal, more cereal. Salt. 22 cents compared to 20 cents. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but we, as adults, and maybe you guys are starting to do this, when you're budgeting, you start figuring this. You look, I go to Costco and I see this all the time. It drives me nuts when I will go somewhere like, funny thing is if you ever think about, you go to a ball game and they're like, I can buy a bottle of water. How about this at Costco yesterday? 40 bottles of water in here. Now, I can go and this bottle of water will cost me like $1 or $2 at the store just to buy if I go into like Quick Trip and I just pull it out. One bottle's like $1.25 or something. This whole thing cost me $2.99.
Whoa.
So think about this. If the whole thing cost me $2.99 and we're doing our ratio, this whole pack of water was $2.99 for 40 bottles. How much does each bottle cost? What would I divide? $2.99. Your first ratio term. $2.99 divided by 40. Each bottle cost me just about 7 cents. Now, stores that turn around and sell, they make a lot. Now, this is what we do. When we do fundraisers, a lot of times we'll buy something in bulk. We find out the unit price, and then we charge for singles. We charge more to make that money. It's a convenience, yeah. There's all these other things that go into consideration. You're totally right. But, alright, here's what we're going to do. I have an activity for you. Okay. This is, the last one is just real life situation, and we're going to do it right now. So, I am done with my notes. What I need you to do, flip. I'm waiting for a few people so we can do an activity. I still have a couple. flip your notes to the back. Okay, on the back of your notes, I want you to write at the very top, Sissel Supper. Sissel. ISAWESOME.
Basically like a Mississippi.
Okay. You guys, we want to get through so you guys have plenty of time. Alright. The first thing I want you to do. Oh, I'm still waiting for a couple people that are off task, wasting your class's time. On the back of your paper, I want you to write this first. This is one of our key ideas for today. I'm going to say ratio. This is on the front of our notes, but I want you to remember it. A to B. So whatever my first ratio is compared to my second. And then I want to say unit. We're going to say A divided by B. Okay. I swear to you, I mix this up all the time in my own life. I have to find out how much gas is going to cost per gallon, or I'm finding out, hey, it's my pickup. I have to find out how many miles per gallon I get. There's another ratio, miles per gallon. And my pickup has it online. I like to find out if it, or online on my screen. I gotta check it. So the way I do that is I reset my odometer every time I fill up with gas. When I go to the gas station and fill up, I look at how many miles I drove. I fill up, and then I take the two and I go, okay, which one's which? And sometimes I have to slow down and think. But I want miles per gallon. So I write my miles down first, then I write how many gallons I used, and then I divide the two and it tells me how many miles am I getting per my gallon. Okay? That's an important thing as an adult. I don't have to drive very far, so I'm not worried, but if I had to commute every day, I'd need a car that'd get a little bit better gas mileage. So, here's what I'm going to have you do. This is my scenario. Winning group can have a dum-dum. But do not write on these papers because I need them for the other classes. So you're going to show all your work on your paper. Everyone in your group has to do something. But I need proof. You need to show all your work. You are going to find the unit price of something. And then I'm going to take that unit price times how many I need. For example, if I told you the pizza, you can buy 3 pizzas for $27. So $27 for 3 pizzas. Every pizza costs $9, and I'm buying 5 pizzas. I do 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 5, it costs me $45. Okay? I was going to make supper the other night, or this weekend. We'll change our story. I'm making supper this weekend. My in-laws are coming in because I have to feed them. And no one can agree what they want to eat. So I had to run to the store to buy a few things. So, you'll get this sheet. Do not write on the sheet. You're writing on your notes. So, right here, you'll see in the picture that I'll give you, at Hy-Vee, we can buy 8 brats for $10. That's the rate. Now, if I don't buy 8 brats, they give me the unit price. So, I need to find the unit price of every brat, and then I'm going to buy 3 of them. I'm also going to buy some chicken wings. Chicken wings are $5.99 per pound, and I need 6 pounds of chicken wings. Jude's going dum 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 dum. That was his picture. I also have to buy 4 pounds of hamburger, and hamburger's $3.99 a pound. And then I'm going to buy the twice baked potatoes. I need to buy 5 of them, and they cost 3 for $5. Okay? Work with your table group right now. Do not mess this picture up. And I need to find the answers. Go. Okay. Let's come together. One person in your group pick up the. Actually, Elizabeth, will you go around and pick up the colored papers for me? Alright. If you need to, take these notes. I want to finish up so then you guys can have work time here in just a second. Okay, figuring this out. Let's show it together. To find brats, if I need to purchase 3 brats, the first thing I had to do is find out how much 1 brat is. Now remember, I want that to be my unit. So I'm going to say if brats cost. Alright, brats cost 8 for $10. So I'm going to have to write my ratio. I'm going to put my dollars first. $10 for 8. Why? Can anyone tell me? Because this is really, really important. Why am I putting the $10 first? Because according to this, I'm not even lying. I'd like to do 8 to 10. Why would I not want to write my ratio 8 brats to $10 and do 8 divided by 10 is 80 cents? Why do I have to make sure I'm doing this the right way? Yes? Remember, what do I want to find? I want to find 1 brat. So if that 1 wants to be my unit needs to be the second ratio. Okay? So I would have 10 to 8, and then I would do 10 divided by 8. And if we use our calculator, 10 divided by 8, Jackson, I need you to put the scissors away so I don't have to mark your planner. You're just playing with those and not paying attention. In fact, I think I am going to mark yours. Go ahead and have it out for ownership. You're playing with all that other stuff and not focusing on this. So when I do 10 divided by 8, that gives me $1.25. That means my new unit is $1.25 per 1 brat. That's why we put our brat second. We need to know what 1 brat is, so that's going to be our second term. So every brat is $1.25, and how many of those did I need? 3. So $1.25 times 3 is alright, so far my bill is $3.75. Purchased 6 wings, 6 pounds of wings. Wings were $5.99 per pound. $5.99 per 1 pound. Oh, I already what?
We already have it on the one.
I already have the unit price. So I just have to do $5.99 multiplied by 6, which, who was that? What'd you get?
Oh no,
$35.94. I guess I can use my calculator, but I'll trust you. So 94. Now I'm up to my grocery bill being $35.94. We go to 4 pounds of hamburger. Hamburger is $3.99 for 1 pound. We already got that unit price. I needed 4 pounds. So $3.99 times 4 gives me $15.96. Okay, I'm at $15.96. And then the last one, twice baked potatoes were 3 for $5. So $5 for $3. How do I find whoever I heard from Thomas. If it's $5 for 3 potatoes, how do I find the price of 1 potato?
You do 5. Well, to do 3 divided by 3 to get to 1. You would do 5 divided by 3.
Awesome. 5 divided by 3. So we'll just round to 1.67. How many potatoes do I need? 5. So 1.67 times 5. And 1.67 times 5. $8.35. We add. I'm going to do 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, so that's 20. This is 18 plus 2 is 20, 27. Wow, this is coming out pretty easy. 30, 10, 18, 21, 24, 5, 6. Wow.
I got 60. Oh, that's because I did.
So, for me to go out and purchase all this stuff would have cost me $64.
No, so you have to have 2.
Wow, I never have to tax.
So,
No, it's
Now-
9 cents for every dollar. So you would just do 60.
Key idea here is no, it was funny. I was telling the guy when I was at IB, I was at the meat department to take pictures. Like, can I help you with something? I was like, no, I'm just gonna take pictures. And he kind of looked at me and was like, all right, I'm making a math lesson, but sorry. He's like, oh, just go for it. So, biggest thing. 2 parts that we have to make sure we understand for today's. You write your ratio, and remember, the second term is the one that we want to be our single unit. That is important. When I want to find out how many miles per gallon I'm getting, so miles per gallon, I'd write my miles first, my gallons second. Then you take the first number divided by your second. Okay? Did I put your... See, I don't know why I'm having so many syncing problems. Alright. Sorry. It is 8:40. I'm going to let you start your homework, but I'm tempted to give this to you. Ooh, half homework? Okay, let me see if I can get this to sync. Alright, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Okay. Listen up first, so I can explain your homework. For your homework, I'll work on syncing it. As soon as I get it, I will give you your half homework. So I want you to go on to Big Ideas. This is important. You guys have to show work today. You're going to have to show how to break everything down and how to get to different parts. So let's have everyone, I'm going to have to block people's computers first. Everyone get a blank piece of paper.